Hey everybody, welcome to Kids in the Kitchen. My name is Luca Paris, and this is
Daniel.
we had to go through that a couple of times, buddy. All right, Daniel's with me today because you submitted a recipe for the Healthy Eating Recipe Challenge, right? Awesome, and you put in a recipe, and this is one of my favorite recipes ever because I love frittata, which is like a Italian omelet, and it's really cool. So it's a veggie frittata. What kind of vegetables are in there?
Mushrooms, spinach, and potatoes.
And potatoes, and we could put almost anything we want in there if we really tried. So we're going to make a veggie frittata. Actually, Daniel's recipe, that's the one he put into the show. And then, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do something with eggs later. We're going to do
egg drop soup.
Egg drop soup. An Italian egg drop soup. You think of it almost as, a Chinese cuisine. Well, in Italian, it's called stracciatella. And we'll be making egg drop soup. And we're going to show you how to whisk an egg and drop it into soup, and it looks really cool. Ready for that? So we're here at our new studios in your kitchen store, and we are the Kids in the Kitchen. Welcome back to Kids in the Kitchen. I'm Luca, and this is
Daniel.
Daniel. He loves his name so much it cracks him up.
No.
How does that make you laugh all the time? What is it?
Before the show.
Oh, before the show, because we kept saying your name and you kept laughing.
You kept cracking me up.
Well, now you have a chance to crack something up. What is it?
Eggs.
Eggs, that's right. So a frittata is basically an egg dish, right? And we're going to do potatoes and mushrooms in it. So Daniel, your recipe, I loved your recipe, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently because I do that all the time, okay? So what I need you to do is start getting the eggs ready. You start getting those ready, crack those in, pop those in there. Hopefully they're all going to make it. I'm going to jump on this side, and I'm going to peel our potato, okay?
Okay.
So the recipe you gave me, and I could give anybody the copy of that. Had 8 eggs, but we're going to do 6 because we have a smaller pan. Your skillet even was a little bit bigger at home. We're going to be doing it in a cast iron skillet too. All right. So what do you do for healthy eating, Daniel? What other stuff do you do at home besides the frittata?
We do pho, which is like basically a kind of soup.
What was it called?
Pho, a kind of soup.
Really? Oh, that's cool. And it's a Vietnamese soup. Thank you. I love having an audience because they tell us. Awesome. You know what? I've never even heard of it. I got to try it one time. So pho, and maybe that would be the next recipe you give me, so you could be on again. How's that?
If there's another one.
You never know. Yeah. Then your sister will be like, "Wait a second. He's already been on twice. He doesn't need another time." All right. So I'm going to cut up our potatoes nice and small. Now, in your recipe, Daniel, you had asked me to do the potatoes in the oven first, right? It's put the potatoes in the oven.
Say on the stove, then on the thing,
right.
or
Well,
did I put it in the oven and then on the stove.
Okay, right. And the potatoes were in the oven. They're cooked in the oven first, and then they're added to this mixture. But I'm going to cook the potatoes right in the pan that we're going to be cooking in. And it'll be the first thing that goes in. So I have my pan on. I'm going to add some oil to the pan, just a little bit, because cast iron doesn't really need a lot of oil into it. It's nice and seasoned. And we're going to start adding our potatoes. Ooh. Ooh. Come on, work with me, kid. Ooh. I was hoping you'd get me on the last one. Okay. How are we doing on those eggs? Good?
All cracked.
They're all cracked? Beautiful. Now what do you got to do for the eggs?
Whisk them.
Whisk them. So let's season them first too, right?
Yep.
Let's get some seasoning in them. So we need a little salt and pepper. Yeah. A little bit more. Think about with kids, you're going to have to need a couple more pinches. All right. Perfect. Oh, you got that all over you. You want to wash your hands real quick?
Yep.
All right. I'll put the pepper in. You go wash your hands right behind. No, right here, buddy.
Oh.
You got the sink right here.
I'm not used to this kitchen.
I know you're not used to this kitchen. We'll add a little nutmeg into there, And we have our salt, pepper, and our nutmeg in there. And then Daniel's job is to make sure that gets all whisks if he comes back. Daniel,
What?
how's it going back there?
Good.
Good. So I'm going to put this on a little bit lower. I'll wait till he gets back here so he could talk to us a little bit more. While I'm over here, what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do also here, I put your nutmeg in there. What I'm gonna do also while I'm here is season our potatoes as we go too. I add a little more oil to this pan because I don't want it to stick too much. Where's our oil? All right. How you doing there, buddy?
Pretty good.
Good?
Just starting.
Awesome. All right. So I start getting those potatoes. Now I'm doing two things. One, I'm caramelizing the potatoes and I'm softening them at the same time. And I'm doing it all in the same pan. And while that's going on, and you're whisking the eggs, and you're doing a great job whisking the eggs, I'm going to cut up some mushrooms for this. Is that right? Cool. So I'm going to come right back over here. I'm going to show you a really cool way of cutting mushrooms. You guys can get this, I hope. One of the things is when you're cutting a mushroom, one of the things is you don't want to try and cut it while it's rolling, right? So what you do is you cut off a little lip, and now it stays nice and firm. And then you take your knife, and you just come right down, never lifting your knife off the board till you go about halfway. Drop the mushroom, and you keep going. Look at that. And it's a very, very safe way to cut mushrooms. Do you use a knife at home yet, Daniel? Yes, you do? Okay, as long as you respect the knife, it's going to take really, really good care of you. All right? It's one of the first things you need to learn in the kitchen is respecting your knife. Because once you do, you can do anything with a good chef knife. And that's one of the most important things to work with for a chef in a kitchen. And you've liked to cook for a long time, right?
Yep.
So tell me about, we've done a show together already. You remember what we made? What did we make?
We made 3, was it, different types of pasta?
We did? Were they gluten-free pasta or were they regular pasta?
Or were they regular? I think
They were regular pasta, right? Regular pastas? Yeah, I'm glad you remember because I don't remember. So I think I got to cut these down maybe a little bit more. All right, we're going to break these down so the mushrooms cook down into the potatoes. So we have potato and mushroom, yeah?
Yep.
We're doing all right so far?
Yes.
Yes? I think I might have a little too much for all the egg that we have. Well, we'll see. We shall see, my friend. All right, those eggs look just about ready. All right? We're going to have, do you have to put a little half and half in there though, yeah? It's going to give it a little more fluffiness. So tell me when. Okay, now. Good job, buddy. Hey, you got more of an audience. He's got a whole bunch of people here. All right, so you keep whisking. Whisk away, whisk away. So what are some of the other things you help with in the kitchen at home? What do you cook? You cook the soup when you cook it?
I help chop up some of the vegetables.
Yeah.
We normally use bok choy, carrots, mushrooms, and I think there's one other thing. Actually, I think that might be it.
You know what you can?
Oh, wait. Oh, no, actually tofu.
And some tofu?
Yep.
Do you know that all those ingredients would work well in your omelet as well? If you wanted to make an omelet with kind of an Asian twist to it, you can. You could put bok choy in there, and it would just give it a little bit different flavor. So it's really cool. What's great about the frittata, or the Italian omelet that we're doing today, is that you could put almost any ingredient inside of it, right? So are these some of your favorite ingredients? Is that why we do that? We're doing this one? All right, cool. Now, what other things you do to stay healthy? Do you exercise a lot? Do you get out and play?
Yep.
Tell me what do you like to do anything? You ride your bike, or what do you
Yes,
do?
I do like to ride my bike. I also like to hike, swim, run, and I think there's one more.
Walk? Dance?
And dance,
Like to
yeah.
dance?
I think
Let's
it was
dance. Let's
actually.
dance. Come on. Can you give me a little dance? Okay,
No,
I think that was hike, swim, ride, and walk all in the same dance. That was kind of cool, buddy. No?
There was a swim in it.
Oh, there was a swim. All right, so it's really important that you go out and exercise, right? Once or twice a day, and whenever you can, especially when the weather is getting nicer. And this is finally, we're starting to see some nice weather out there. It's not super cold. And that's what's really important. That's part of being healthy and eating healthy. So, how does that look? Does that look good so far?
Yep.
All right. In your recipe, there was adding spinach to it, yeah? So I'm going to chop that up. what else was supposed to go with the eggs? Do you remember?
I think, did you already add the dried basil?
Oh no, we didn't. We're gonna have to add that. Do you have that over there? Did I
Do we
leave
have
it?
it?
No, that was the nutmeg. Well, I don't know. Nutmeg wasn't for that. I was supposed to use the basil. All right, so I changed it up on you even more.
It's fine.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Well, that's where it gets to be fun. We get to kind of invent something as we go, right? All right. So now with the cast iron, with the heat that's creating around it, once we put the egg in there, it's kind of, wow, you're really mixing that up well, aren't you? How about some cheddar cheese? We need some cheddar cheese in there?
I actually think that's how it went in there.
Yeah, that's what goes in there
Almost
next.
forgot.
All right, look at this. This looks really good. I'd eat this by itself. You could put onions in here if you want, right?
You could,
But
I
we're not
didn't
going to.
decide to.
You didn't decide to, so we're not
And I
putting
don't see onions around here. Or is that an onion down there?
That's an onion down there, but we're going to use that for our soup later. Is that okay?
Yep.
We'll use an onion and our carrot for our soup later. But right now, we're just going to make our frittata, which seriously, still one of my favorite things to make ever. All right, that looks good? Feel good about that? All right, let's get it in here. And we make sure we got to get the egg all over the place. We kind of get it towards the bottom so it gets in there, right? Is that good? Does this look like how you make it at home?
Yep.
All right. And it starts heating up from the bottom, right? I like to add some more cheese on top. All right. Now, before we start going away, I'm going to do something with the onion real quick, okay? This is what I want to do. This is why I had the onion over here. I'm going to cut the onion, and I'm going to make what's called a chipolata sauce. Come on closer to me. I feel like you're so far away. I need you a little closer. All right. I'm going to make what's called a chipolata sauce. You know what that is?
No.
Neither do I.
Never heard of it.
Me neither. Basically, it's an onion tomato sauce that we used to make when I was a kid to put on top of our frittata. So basically, I'm going to slice these up the long way. I'm going to get a pan. Can you get a pan from up there for me?
I can see if I can reach.
No, I'm
think so.
kidding. Okay. I just thought that was funny. All right. Right now, don't write in. I wasn't being mean. You got the joke, right? All right, we're okay. It's all good. If it was my kid, I would have done the same thing. So anyway, I'm going to get that pan going. And not that anybody's writing in, I don't think. So who's going to be watching the show? How many people in your family are watching the show? A lot? Well, I know you have some people here, but what about, like,
I don't know.
you don't think everyone in your family is going to want to watch this show later?
Probably they will
Yeah, probably.
later.
I think so.
sometime.
So here we have, and this is a really quick sauce, right? We're going to have onion, right, with a little bit of oil, excuse me for reaching, a little bit of salt and pepper, right?
Right.
And we're going to cook that down. Now I'm going to add some plum tomatoes to that in a second. But first I want to pop this where?
In the oven.
In the oven. Shh.
Is it over there?
Nope, it's
or over
actually all the way
there?
back there. So what I need you to do, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to pop this in the oven. Then I'm going to go see my friend Alan. We're going to talk about knives because I want to talk about the knives that I'm using today. We'll talk about knives. And then when we come back, we'll show everybody what this looks like, and we'll start our egg drop soup. I need you to do me a favor while I do put this in the oven. Well, everybody will be right back.
We'll be right back.
Hey, Alan. Hey, there you go, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man?
Well, I'm playing with knives in the back, and I have some great, you gave me some great knives to work on the show, but I just want to talk a little bit more about knives. This case is like this kind of behind the glass kind of thing.
Yeah.
People sometimes are scared. What do they get? What kind of knives they have? Tell us a little bit about what you guys have.
Well, we have such a wide selection. We have the German and Japanese, which, again, can get really involved with different angles and steel and whatnot. But for, like, the average chef, like a nice, basic 8-inch German steel chef's knife is kind of where we're at for, like, the #1 recommended knife.
All right, so what's that look like? That's
So
the big
let me
one,
let me
right?
get one out real quick.
All right.
So this is
Oh,
just like the
secret
one
drawer.
that you're using out back in the kitchen today. So it's a 8-inch German steel,
Right.
which the Soligen German steel is. They have really strict rules about
Okay.
quality and everything. So it is a fantastic knife all around.
So caring for your knife, I always tell everybody when I give them their first knife, and my daughter just got hers when she turned 11. I said, it's about caring for your knives. And now it's not just where you store it, but it's also before you use it,
Right.
you have a honing steel here. Honing a knife is just as important as how you protect it, right?
Well, I think it's probably one of the most important things about maintenance for your knives. And like you said, if you throw it in the drawer or something like that, you risk dinging it and breaking off bits and pieces, and it causes the knife to burr. So this, I recommend using it at least 3 to 4 times a week if you're cutting every day of the week. But people get really intimidated by this. But people need to realize it's as simple as just that.
Right.
You do that a couple times, 6, 8 times, and you're good
and then
to go.
you've stopped the rolling of the knife. You have a nice edge.
Right.
It's not sharpening the knife, it's
Right.
honing the knife. But we'll talk about that more on the show in the future.
Yeah, it gets kind of crazy.
So the first thing to do if you're looking for a knife for home, a nice 8-inch chef knife,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to spend decent money on it because it's going to last you forever.
Right, like forever and ever.
Ever and ever.
Grandkids will have it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's something you could share. And if you're cooking for the first time, or if you feel like cooking is a passion, get a really good chef knife. It's a great way to go.
Yeah.
I got a young guy in there that I'm going to be cooking with right now.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I
buddy.
bet. My pleasure.
Just one more part of it. Just perfect.
Right.
Nice.
We'll
All
see
right,
you
I'll
next
see
time.
you.
All
Here I
righty.
come, Daniel. Hey. We're having our own little show when we're not on, huh? You having fun, Daniel?
Yes.
Yes, me too, buddy. All right, so we're going to make, oh, look, before I get started, did you see, this is the onions I talked about, right? So we were sauteing the onions with a little olive oil, salt and pepper, and I put some tomato in there. This goes great on the frittata. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. And if you don't tell me that, because it's one of my favorite things. All right, so, all right, I need shallots, and I need some carrots for my next dish. What I need for you to do is I need you to make my eggs for my egg drop. So I need you to do the same thing you did with the eggs before, Daniel.
Crack it.
And crack them
In the
and
bowl.
then whisk them. But all I need is the eggs. I won't need the half and half or anything in there, okay? Now, what I'm doing is cutting my shallots really fine and thin. So I need a little bit of base for this soup. You can put a couple of other things in there. I mean, egg drop soups, some people put arugula in it. Some people put other flavors in it. I'm thinking of a very traditional, simple broth soup with, in this case, we're going to have some carrots. We're going to have some shallots. You can put some onions and diced up real fine. Now, stracciatella or egg drop soup, Daniel, usually have, where'd you go?
I'm back here.
Oh, good.
Wiping
I thought
my
you
hands.
left. I know, go ahead. Go wipe your hands.
I did.
Oh, okay, you're good. You scared me. I thought you left. I was talking to myself. But stracciatella soups are usually made with chicken broth, but you don't eat chicken broth, right? We do vegetarian, so we got vegetable broth for today, which is just as good. It's gonna be a little bit lighter, but we're gonna add some more flavor to it to make it really pop, okay? So I turn this on nice and high to start. We're gonna add a little olive oil in the pan. All right, so start whisking your egg away. Do like you did the last time. Start breaking it up first. And what Daniel's doing is what he was probably taught at home, is you start cracking the egg first, just a little bit, and then you start whisking it instead of trying to break it all the way. And we've done that. Seen people do it before where they try and whisk and it ends up everywhere. And when I mean I've seen people do it before, that was me. I usually, when I start trying to crack an egg, it's everywhere. So, oh, this part didn't cut up the way I wanted it to, so I'm gonna get rid of you. Bye-bye. All right, so in the pan, we have shallots and garlic. Let's turn the pan down just a little. We're gonna add our seasoning, okay? We're gonna add nutmeg. Did you steal my nutmeg? It's right over here. We're gonna add a little nutmeg.
I didn't.
You didn't steal it?
Well, if I stole it, it would be over here.
Oh, that's you. Good point there. I'm glad you're on top of that. Add a little nutmeg. I add some more shallots. We're gonna add some salt and pepper. Pepper. More pepper. Oh, that was salt, wasn't it? And that's pretty much it. That's the flavor we're gonna add to our soup. All right. Okay, so that's it. So nice and simple. We're gonna let the carrots cook down, and then we're gonna add our vegetable stock. Oh wait, that's your job. Can you pour the vegetable stock in there, please? Okay, all at once.
Oopsies.
Perfect job. Great job. Can you I need about a cup of water too. Can you grab me a cup of water? So Daniel's going to add a cup of water to our vegetable stock in our stracciatella. And it is a quick soup to make. It's one of those broth soups. We're just heating up the broth and the vegetables together. And in this case, it's part of a mirepoix. We're going to have onions, in this case shallots, some carrots. You can put, very good, sir, after you. Go right ahead. We're going to get this on a nice rolling boil so we can start incorporating all the flavors. About 15 to 20 minutes in the pan is going to be perfect. Now, while you're doing that, you know what I'm going to go get while this is cooking? Also, I want to show you something that a friend of mine, Marianne Esposito, who has her own show on PBS, she taught me. Never leave the pans out here. You know why you can't leave them out here? These handles? What happens? When I start talking, I start hitting them, and then I could spill stuff. So you always make sure your handles are in, okay? That's really important. We're going to let that come to a bubble. We're not going to do anything with this just yet, all right? So you hold on to it. But I'm going to go get our frittata and see what it looks like, all right? So don't go away. So everybody keep watching how cute Daniel is stirring that. I'm going to go get us our frittata, which I took out of the oven already. We'll see how it came out. So come over here. Check this out. Does that look awesome or what? That came out absolutely beautiful. Let's see about getting a knife around it. Hey, we can do this. Kind of just get around the outside. Now this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break because I'm going to need to take a little bit more time on this and make sure it separates. Oh yeah, it's going to be perfect. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to take this out of here. All right, we're going to take a little slice like you did in the picture you sent me. While that's boiling, we're going to turn that down just a bit. And when we come back, we'll plate this up. We'll make our egg drop in our soup and we'll eat it. Sounds good? I'm so glad we're not on the radio right now, Daniel. Exactly. Does that look like the one you made at home? A little bit? Yeah. Do you think it's going to taste as good as the one you made at home? It might be the second best one you've ever had, right? Because the first one is when you made it at home. Okay, show them how you say yes. All right, listen. We're gonna take a little quick break. We're gonna plate this up. We're gonna get the soup ready to do the egg drop. We're gonna have some fun stracciatella, which means ribbons. I'll tell you all about that when we come back. And should we tell them we'll be right back?
I'll be right back.
There you go. Hi everybody, I'm Luca. I'm back with Kids in the Kitchen, and my friend here is named
Daniel.
I think you saved that up from the whole last segment, Daniel, when you just nodded all the time, right? So, have you had fun today?
Yes.
Yes, and so you're all about eating healthy. I'm also giving you a soup that has eggs in it that's easy to eat too, right? And it's easy to make because it's just vegetables, vegetable broth, really nice flavors. So we're going to first plate your frittata.
Yep.
Yep. Well, first plate your frittata.
You are.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
You are being silly.
Yeah, I know. We're allowed to be silly because we're kids in the kitchen.
I
Daniel.
know.
We just enjoy ourselves. Now, your frittata was just simple like that. I added our little onions for the top of it. Doesn't that look beautiful? All right? We'll try that in a second. But let's talk about, wow, that's a great job, buddy. I love this recipe. If anybody wants it, I'll make sure they get it. Now, the other thing we're going to do is in our egg drop soup. Now, I wait for the last minute to rip the spinach in there. So I rip the spinach in, I throw it in, right? And then we take the eggs that you whisked really well, and we got to get this on a real good boil. Now, do you know why I put it on a real good boil?
Why?
It's because I want as it's boiling, I want the eggs to cook right away when it goes in. So, it's like this, ready? And if you could, I wish you guys could see this, but they'll see it when we're done. You see how it's like cooking almost like scrambled eggs all around the soup? Now, we shut it off real quick. Boom. And we've made egg drop soup. So it looks like, you see how those strands of eggs are in there? All right, we'll show everybody that's at home what it looks like. So when you think of egg drop soup and people get it, there's eggs in the soup. It's in Italian, it's called stracciatella, which is kind of like ribbons. And look at that soup. Isn't that beautiful? All right, I'm going to have mine. You have yours. So is this something you want to try and make at home? Yeah? You think mom and dad would make it? Are they nodding? Because I can't see. No, are they like maybe not?
I can
Oh, they are?
see them, and so can you.
Yes, I can. Little Parmigiano cheese on top, right? So this is a little different than the soup that you normally make. What was the type of soup you said you make at home? Faux? All right, so you make faux soup and we make stracciatella soup. So what do you want to try first? The frittata? All right, you got to grab a fork, I grab a fork. I'll take this one. No, I'll take this one.
No.
No, I want this one. No? All right.
Stop switching. What does it matter?
It doesn't matter. What does it matter, really? Is it too hot? Is it okay? I don't think you were. Maybe should I have found out before you? Are you all right there, buddy? Okay. All right. What do you think? Is it hot? Is it? Okay. Well, now that I know it's hot, I'm going to take my time.
It's good.
Is it really? Oh, man. This is really good. And it's healthy. It's all great food, right? So instead of like doing something like chips for dinner or having to go out or drive through, you could just have this for dinner. It has everything you need, right? And then isn't it a little different with the tomato and onions on top too? The way you normally do it? Hold on. That was so good. And I think you're going to finish it all. Let's try our soup. All right, I'm going to try the egg drop soup. You keep it on the table because the bowl is hot. But here we just have a vegetable soup with eggs and carrots and shallots and spinach. And this is going to be really hot, so you got to blow. Okay? And then we're going to try it out. Listen, I forgot you guys were even watching. We're just hanging out eating, so I don't, maybe you're totally bored, but we're enjoying ourselves. But it's two simple dishes. And actually, if you made a meal around this whole thing, it's healthy, it's great for the kids. It's easy to make with the kids if you want to do. And it's all about getting them in the kitchen, getting them to understand what healthy eating is all about. Daniel, along with the other 5 kids that have sent in their recipes, really thought a long time about what is the best thing to eat. And I'm glad that they were able to do this with us. What do you think, Daniel? Do you like the soup? Yeah? Good. What if he said no?
But I did.
Oh, that is good.
But I didn't.
You didn't say no or you didn't like it?
I didn't say no.
I appreciate that. It's really good. Might use a little bit more salt, but it's still fine. It's absolutely wonderful. We're having a great time. Actually, a little more Parmigiano cheese in there will make it really pop. I really had a great time, buddy. Did you?
Yes.
All right. High five. All right. Thank you for all your cool recipes, or your recipe and everyone else's. And thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next time, Kids in the Kitchen. I'm going to go back to eating this. Is that okay?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
So, because I did.
No, I want it.